Hey everyone, it's a Tribe Called Dhillon podcast. I'm Angie Dhillon.
And I'm Rose Dhillon with Miko Dhillon.
And I'm Alvin Dhillon.
Alvin, and we got Casey Coles back in the house. Those of you that listened to part 1 of our episode, it was insightful, impactful, telling us all about what's happening in Hollywood and just Casey talking about his career. This is part 2 of the conversation, and I can tell you right now, I'm already feeling the energy and the vibe that this is going to be a really funny closer. I just feel like it's going to be funny. So with that said, let's get into part 2 of our segment. Thank you.
I don't know. I feel like that they were doing that to blackmail people in the industry, which was one reason why they were probably VIP situations. And then, I mean, what can you do if you have a video of like Jennifer Lopez doing something that she doesn't want Ben Affleck to know, or TMZ, you know what I mean? And it's like you pretty much own that person at that point. You know, it's like, I need you to show up for my kid's birthday party for free and sing that song that you sing, you know, or like, I need you to give me 20% of your record sales this year because, you know, or I could destroy you right now. Like they did Michael Jackson. I mean, I was a fan of Michael Jackson my whole life. Like he was one of my favorite.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay, then beautiful,
right? Yeah, my dad was set up,
and you know, I just feel like he was set up. He had the wrong people around him, and that's my thing. I mean, and you can't deny talent. The man was musical genius.
Oh, the
but,
best,
you know,
the greatest.
Yeah, when someone's not here to defend themselves, I always get upset because our uncle introduced him to us, and our uncle is, you know, no longer here. But you know, just from what I've seen over the industry and how things are, like, you know, they will only let you get so far until they're going to take it away from you. And I feel like that's what happened to him. And he's not here to defend himself, right? And what's your take
Casey,
on MJ?
Well, and before you go to MJ, Casey, like, question, like, how come nobody from the industry is saying anything on Diddy? Like, he was a good guy. Because he did do some good things, right? Like, he opened up schools, he donated money. Like, he's not like, I mean, we're going to find out how evil he is, but there is still good things. And I just find it strange that not a single person is like talking about him. Like everyone's just pretending like it doesn't exist. And I think that strategy worked a decade ago when we didn't really have the technology like we do today, but it's not working today because the more silent you are, to me, the more guilty you are.
Yeah. No, you're right. And yeah, that is a little fishy, right? Because there should be more people coming out about that. My take on it, I hope it doesn't get me in trouble. I feel like maybe he's taking the fall for somebody bigger.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. And I think, and of course, like, who's better? The black man that we gave the opportunity to live a lavish life? Who's better to take the fall for us? You weren't even supposed to be here. We gave you all the tools to live that life, and you should have known maybe one of these days we were going to come back, you know, the idea of selling your soul, you know what I mean? We were going to come back and ask for that favor in return. We've given you everything.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean?
I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I feel like the industry is like that too. I feel like that's the idea when they say you sell your soul. It's not that you sold your face and now you can't go anywhere. I mean, obviously that takes play, but I feel like you actually sell your soul. Next thing you know, one guy calls another person calls another person, and now you're in every commercial for the next 3 years. You're actually, you know, and the awards, don't even get me on the awards. Like, do we really believe that these awards go and they're voted? Like, who's tell me right now, who's
voting? I was wondering. I've never voted my entire life for this.
Who's voting for the greatest artist of the year, right? Is it other artists? Because I mean, okay, that's not a bad place to look. You know, maybe other musicians and artists should have the right to only vote for the greatest artist of the year because they do it professionally, right? But I mean, I don't know. I could really get into depth with it, and it's mostly conspiracy. I'm going to say that so that hopefully it doesn't get me in trouble. But yeah, I feel like it's a club, and I feel like you get access when you do certain things. You give yourself, you know, to them, and yeah, it's a very hidden club. It's dangerous. Like even right now, I could have this conversation with you right now. They could intercept it. Next thing you know, people kicking in the door. They're like, "He's got drugs on the floor." I'm like, "What?" They throw the drugs on the floor, and then they blow me away. And next thing you know, you got me on the tabloids, and it's like, yeah. in today's news, young black male had drugs in his house. And it's like America's like, yeah, I know he did. Yeah, because of course young black male got drugs in his house. Shit. Should have been a better father is what they're saying. You know what I mean? So, yeah, sorry. That's now we're getting into like,
no, you know, I think this is really like, this is really helpful. That's why we wanted you to come on and talk, because we are like, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm really naive. Like, someone DM'd me about J-Lo, and I was like, listen, I'm happy to say I'm wrong. Like, I don't know these people. I have never met them. For me, my love affair with Jennifer Lopez started when I was 15 years old, because I went to the movie theaters with my friends. And the first time I see a woman that looks somewhat similar to somebody in my community on this giant screen, right? Like, every time I went to the movies to watch American films, there were only white people on screen. So it was the first time I saw someone with dark hair and medium brown skin. And I was like, wait, what? And then the movie Selena was, let's be real, it was amazing. It was so captivating.
It was great. Yeah.
And so from there, I was so young. I was 15, and I then followed her career, and then just watched her do all these great things. But I'm happy to sit here and say, like, I'm not a fan. A fan is a fanatic. I'm a supporter. I just thought her going in the Super Bowl at the age of 50 and slipping on those poles, I was like, God damn, like, that is some serious talent, and that's some serious commitment. But I don't know what you do to go that far. I don't know those things. I'm very naive. I have nothing to do with these things, nor do I have a good comprehension. So, like, even you saying something like Diddy being the fall guy for someone else, I'm like, oh, like, yeah, I guess this is much bigger than like the average person thinks about.
It feels like it makes sense, because if you think about it, all the amount of charges, the variety of charges that there are, right? Yeah. All these people, he had the manpower to do all of this. You need a network of people for this to happen. Like, you need people feeding this entire system. It's a level of crime. You're almost making him seem more brilliant than he is, because you're like, if I saw that and he did that, I'd be like, this guy's the smartest man alive. But clearly, this is not all in him. But yeah, like, somebody always periodically has to be the fall guy. And I think what he did was, I think he probably blackmailed like the wrong person or one too many people, and they were finally like, we have to end this one now.
Yeah, no, I agree with you, and I mean, I feel like even in today's era too, like, a lot of them are falling.
Yeah,
these stars,
one too many freaks. Should have stopped, man. In 2020 during the pandemic, you probably nothing would have happened.
Too many freaky diggies. Yeah, no. I mean,
there's probably a giant group of people that got to like STDs, and they're like, he's going down. No more of these parties. Every time we go, we come back with something new.
It's been burning for a week.
I'm telling. Didn't put the other shit right for 2 weeks.
That's funny. No,
and Casey.
Yeah.
Question, because you spent quite a bit of time, almost 7 years in Hollywood?
7 years in Hollywood. Yeah.
Okay. A question for you: how much? And this is just based on your opinion. Okay, based on what you saw, how much? How can I say? Okay, how much is? How can I word it where it makes sense here? Okay, how much is talent versus connections for those people that make it?
See, I'm trying to also find a way to answer it appropriately. Talent is definitely important. I feel like over talent, just being able to be a people person, if you know how to talk and adapt. You don't even necessarily need to have talent. You just need to kind of just be your own and be comfortable to being your own when you're around new people. I feel like that's really important. But yes, at the end of the day, it does trump everything. You got to know who you know. You know what I mean? You're going to hit a wall every time. I mean, unless like, okay, let's say like, unless you are like, I don't even think that's a good correlation. I say, unless you are like Michael Jordan in Game 6, 24/7, or unless you are like Denzel Washington every single time somebody introduces their self to you. Like, I mean, and I say Denzel Washington because He's great. But maybe he's only great under certain circumstances. We only see him on camera. We don't know what it takes for them to get him. Mm-hmm. Maybe they slap him. Get it down. You ain't shit. All right. Now she died. All right. We need you to cry. We need to give it that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know what goes on. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like, I don't know. I'm not going to lie though. I think it does. It goes with who you know. It's who you know in life. And I'm just going to stand by that because I've had the opportunity to meet very talented people, and I have seen very, very talented people every day. When I was living out there, shoeless, they've lost their entire minds, but they can sing you the most beautiful song on the street. Like, Hollywood is full of lost angels, and that's why they call it the city of Los Angeles. Los Angeles. It's the city of lost angels. And it's all the people that went there with hopes and dreams, like myself, and talented people with voices and the power to strum a guitar, play it beautiful, you know what I mean? And they get lost in the rejection. They get lost in the drugs. They get lost in probably the Diddy parties. And it might, you know what I mean? There's other parties. I've been to parties. I had one
question on the parties. Since you went to the Jamie Foxx party, right? You met him. What do you think of how
I never met Jamie Foxx. Never met Jamie Foxx. No, I have never met Jamie Foxx. No.
But you went to a party, right? You attended one of those parties. So, like, given like you attended the parties and you heard what happened, like he had this magical illness, and then it just went like radio silent, and like all the Diddy stuff was coming up. Do you think any of that stuff had anything correlation tied to Diddy?
Oh my God, yeah, of course. It's weird, right?
For him, because he's like the most famous guy. He always talks about how he takes care of himself.
Of course. Well, yeah. And then like all of a sudden that happened and then nobody heard of him for days. And then when we got a video response that they released, it almost didn't even look like him. And that's the scariest part about Hollywood, is that they are so good at deceiving you. It's what NASA stands for. I have a brand called Bossa, and it goes with what I do today. I've always cut hair. It's my Barber Aeronautics Space Administration, because we specialize in the study of flight. But NASA stands for deceive. And that's a whole nother topic we can get on. But Hollywood plays a huge role in deceiving the American people every single day. That's why when you turn on your news, it's the same script that you will hear in your city, that New York City will hear in their city, that Florida will hear in their city. CNN is CNN. They will pitch the same script. Even the local news, whatever, I can't even think of it right now. The local news
network.
Thank you. I had a little brain fart for that for a second. But they will even have the same script. And it's predictive programming. They're trying to program the people and have them all think about the same thing at the same time. And Hollywood, like NASA, plays a huge role in forcing you to focus on the same thing at the same time. Now, I mean, what's going on right now? What are we talking about? We're talking about Diddy. Okay. I think they want us to talk about Diddy. I think they want us to focus on Sean Combs right now, when the election is going on, other things are going on. You know what I mean? Like Elon Musk is talking about doing crazy things with his company. And there's probably other topics that we don't even know about, that we should know about as the American people, because probably our tax dollars are going into it. And it truly affects us and our children's lives in the future. You know what I mean? And so I feel like there's always a distraction. And I'm
going to add to that, because that's something that now that we're going down this rabbit hole of learning about, like Hollywood, where we grew up thinking it was a certain way and like these good people and whatnot. And you're figuring this all out now. And it's kind of like, it's really heartbreaking, really is. Like, people don't realize it. Like, to me, like my dad always says, with great power comes great responsibility. And I think that I thought that those people understood that. Like, I thought like I was like, before we started this podcast, I was like, well, like sometimes I'm not always that honest. Like sometimes I've had 2 glasses of wine, but I lied and said I had 1 because I don't want anybody to judge me. And then I was like, that's about as bad as my shit gets. You know what I mean? And then you hear about that stuff out there and you go, no, they're in front of the public eye. Why would you can't do stuff like this because people are watching you. People are judging you. People will put your stuff on blast if you're doing it. But I'm learning, like, as we're all learning, as the world is learning, is that there's a lot of horrible things that powerful people do. And it's disheartening and it's really sad because we, the American people and people all over the world that admire America, we want honesty and we want integrity in the people who have power. And it's just really, really, like, for me, like seeing, like, I grew up on Indian music and then trying to find my way is where I got into hip hop because all my friends were listening to hip hop and I just didn't belong anywhere. So I started listening to like R&B and like rap music just to fit in. But I fell in love with Diddy and the pop, that music. I didn't really understand the lyrics, to be honest with you. I mean, I was like 16 and not that intelligent, but the beats were great. But now I'm looking back and I'm like, man, you just like ruined like high school for me, dude. Like, not cool.
Oh my God. I love that you even brought that up because I feel the exact same way. Like, I love that music. That music is my childhood. And trying to listen to it today, I'm almost like, what was really going on? He's all like, take that. I'm like, wait, what do you mean, Diddy? What do you mean, take that? You know what I mean?
Can't stop, won't stop. I can't even say that line anymore.
Won't stop.
It won't more video for everybody all around. Diddy, what?
Yeah, right? I can't stop, won't stop, right? Can't stop, won't stop.
Casey, I have a question then for you because as we're like investigating and figuring this stuff all out, and we're realizing like so many celebrities when they perform it, like movie scenes or music videos, you're learning now that they're under the influence. Like I always thought these people came and put their best performance on, like without anything, because like you want to feel the character, you want to be in it. But like when the whole Johnny Depp thing happened, like he was saying on Pirates of the Caribbean, like all the things were filled with wine. And that made so much sense to me because I was like, how is this 50-year-old man being so lucid and being so good in his character? Because at that point, it's like you've built on so much trauma. You've seen so much. It's almost like you understand when people get older, they get more closed off because they've just seen so much. So I remember watching that because my cousin loved that movie and being like, how is this man getting into this character so beautifully? And then now you find out because he was under the influence during taping. It's like, how many of these guys, these select female, male, are under the influence and giving us these portrayals of these movies they're making, or portrayals of these characters when they're not really in the right state of mind? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And I heard about that too. And I heard that before they started filming, he actually locked himself in a basement for like 3 months. This is just a rumor, I guess. And he just got drunk and just played off that whole like shivery. Oh, wow. I think he literally drove himself crazy purposely to play that role so well. And I think it's the same with Heath Ledger when he played the Joker. I mean, nobody's ever done it as good as him. And in the end, it ended up killing him because even there was a interview with him and Jack Nicholson. And Jack Nicholson was one of the first to play the movie Joker, right? And he said, and even after that, like Jack Nicholson's never been the same since he played the Joker. And he told Heath Ledger, he said, please be careful because if you want to get into this character, this guy is dark. If you want to play it well, you need to be careful. You need to be careful because it will change you. And he started taking opioids or whatever it was, pills, and it helped him just do his thing. And after that, it was done. And then he continued to do it because obviously addictive personality takes over at that point. And, now you're not even playing the role anymore. Now you're trapped, But yeah, I mean, Johnny Depp, I mean, he's always been an idol of mine. And you look at him today and you're like, dude, I'm positive that role of Jack Sparrow like destroyed you, You know what I mean? Because he had that whole case going on. I guess supposedly wasn't he beating her or something?
He wasn't. She made it up. She apparently made it up.
She made it up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why he fought all the way. Yeah. She was dishonest.
Well, Casey, I feel like you have so many stories in your treasure box that we're going to have to get you back on the podcast and talk some more. I know that you said that you're a father. How old is your baby?
I have a 6.5-month-old son. Wow. Yeah, his name's Thomas.
Well,
I love
congratulations to you. How is fatherhood?
Fatherhood's great, man. I am tired. I work full time. My fiance, she's great. She really carries the weight. I couldn't do it without her. I'm just gonna be honest. Like she's freaking amazing. And but it's inspiring though for me to be better. It's inspiring for me to actually keep continuing down the path I want to continue down, but like with the acting and whatnot, I've done a short film with some Western students recently. This was actually October last year. We're still in contact. I'm still acting. I'm still making music. As you can see behind me, I still have my setup. I still take the time to do that. But yeah, no, just focusing on what's real right now and trying to build a future for him is most important. So yeah, I'm just grateful. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful for all the experiences. I'm grateful for Hollywood. If I didn't go there, it would have been one of those things every day. I'd be like, man, what if, you know what I mean? And it's like, I know now, I got to see some things, and I got to have a good time. I mean, I didn't even tell you about the story about Andy Dick. Like I met Andy Dick so many times, and I mean, he's a registered sex offender. I mean, he's fondled my friend.
Did you say Andy Dick?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Andy Dick. I mean, if you guys, I have so many stories.
Full name Andy Dick. Full name Andy Dick.
Yes, Andy Dick.
Oh, but right when you just said that, I go, I'm sorry. I'm going to just start laughing. I can't take anyone named Andy Dick seriously.
No, well, he was
because it sounds like and a dick.
Yeah. Yeah, probably. I don't know why he was.
You're real mature on this podcast.
Yeah. He was in a lot of Adam Sandler movies. He was in in Joe Dirt, I think. He was a famous comedian. So he's kind of a washed up star, and nothing against him, but I mean, I've had so many acquaintances with him, not acquaintances, sorry, experiences with him because he's stolen things from my friends. It was on TMZ. You look up the story. Yeah, Andy Dick steals chain from bystander. That was my friend. We were there on the Hollywood Boulevard just having dinner, and he comes up on a bike and he's like, hey, I like your chain. And we're like, oh, that's Andy Dick. Let's take a picture. We take a picture, and he's like, bye. And he just rides off like he's on drugs. And he just rides off into nowhere. We're like, get the cops, you know what I mean? And we got the cops, and they were like, Andy, because they know that they deal with this all the time. Like, get it back. Like, but I mean, yeah, Andy Dick, man, is one of those. I mean,
what a dick.
That's what we always say. Andy Dick, what a dick.
Oh God! Like your name is a winning name, Casey Coles, but anyone named Andy Dick, man, like you're not even set up for success.
No, yeah, that's I know it's crazy because he was successful for a little bit, but yeah, he's an awkward guy, and he's actually. So I'm going to tell you right now before we close this out. He was one of the people that I met when I went to just like a basic Halloween party, and this wasn't even anything huge. It was just we lived in the community, and if you live in that Hollywood community, I mean, you live from Sunset Vine, Hollywood to La Mirada to the Hills. The Hills are only 2 blocks up. And when you talk about Hollywood Hills, they're literally right there, and the scum, the homeless, is right here under your feet, right? I remember going to this party. Andy Dick shows up with kids. His entourage was a bunch of emo kids. And I'm thinking, like, this dude's like 40 something. And I'm looking at these kids, and I'm like, these kids are like barely 21. Barely 21. And he's pulling up, and he's already fondling one of my friends. And supposedly he stole this guy's cologne that night. And It was crazy. Yeah, guns got brought out, and we were just like, "What's going on?" And they were like, "Andy Dick." And we're like, "No, not Andy Dick." You know what I mean? Like, so, anyways, yeah. There's so many situations, man. Like, God, I wish we had more time to talk about it because
we will. We're
going to have you back on when the day trial comes. We'll have you back on.
I have a feeling all our listeners will be like, "Bring it back, bring it back."
Okay.
But Casey, in closing, you guys.
What a dick!
Tell us about Andy. Yeah, Casey. In closing, here, you've got a son, and in 18 years, your son goes, "Dad, I want to go to Hollywood." What's your advice? And to anyone listening right now that's even contemplating and that wants to go, you've seen it all. You've been there for 7 years. Are you going to go with him, or what's your advice to your son?
Oh, God, that's the hardest question I've had to answer ever, because what do you want to do as a father? You want to support your child, and you don't want to discourage them because you never know what they could be, right? But you're also there to protect them. So if he asks me that, I'm going to tell him about Andy Dick. I'm gonna say, you can go. You can go. But you're going to meet people like Andy Dick.
You really want to go?
And you know what? Oh, yeah. Remember that song I used to listen to? Yeah, you remember that? Take that. Yeah, Diddy's out there waiting for you, too. Diddy's son is growing up.
Oh.
Diddy's son is going to be the heir to the throne. There's still going to be nastiness going on. I'm just telling you. I'm going to be real with him. You know what? I'm tired. I'm going to tell him the Santa Claus ain't real. Santa Claus is me and your mama. We work our ass off. You son of a bitch. You're gonna give thanks to me and your mom because we worked all year to get you those gifts. Santa Claus ain't real, okay? And the tooth fairy, it's me. I'm waiting for you to go to sleep, okay? I'm about to get your tooth and I'm about to give you a couple of dollars for that shit, you stank ass tooth. Right? You better respect me and your mama. All right? So when I tell you Andy Dick is out there waiting for you, you better know Andy's dick is out there waiting for you.
You guys, listen. If the Hollywood dream doesn't go well, listen. We've got our quite a bit of a large following. We have this in India. I'm sure someone in India will. Yes. You're hilarious, and we will make sure that goes somewhere.
You are the greatest showman.
Casey's got to do the skit. We got to do the skit.
Oh yeah,
please collaborate.
Let's connect. No, we should.
And you know what, Casey? In all honesty, Casey, I have not seen an African American individual in a Bollywood movie yet. Have you, Rose?
No. Actually,
you could be the first.
I have a really good friend, and I wanted to bring him up because he is well known in Bollywood. His name's O'Dane Watson. This is one of my closest friends. This is one of the coolest people I ever met in Hollywood. We're still friends today. We talk all the time. He has a brand called O'Dangerous. He actually partnered with the Tiger King. He actually communicates with the Tiger King. He makes clothing for the Tiger King, and it's sold out. But he actually has acted in multiple Netflix films that have taken place in Bollywood, and not just Netflix, other films in Bollywood. And he's a black male. He's gay. He's from New York City. His name's O'Dane Watson. I love him so much. To be honest, I would actually even love to introduce you guys. Maybe he would, because he was in the movie. He was in the movie Tron. This guy has done beyond more than I've ever done. He's incredible, and he's still level-headed, and he's still out there in the fashion industry. I think he's in New York City right now. But yeah, O'Dane Watson, I would love to introduce you guys. He would have so much more to say. I bet, dude, he's funny. He's funny. And he's got perfect white teeth. Perfect. He's great. Yeah, he's great.
And he didn't hang around no Andy Dick either.
Hey, he might have been hanging around Andy Dick. I think everybody's been hanging around Andy's Dick. If you've been in Hollywood,
after this podcast is over, all of our comments are going to be filled with, "Who's Andy Dick? Where's Andy Dick? What does he look like? What a dick!"
I bet you all the houses in Beverly Hills, the security guards flag him. They have a picture of him on the wall.
You just made Andy Dick famous again and relevant, Casey.
Oh, he's coming back. Andy. I'm your agent. Okay, I want 50%. Yeah. We're helping them.
Oh my God. Okay, we're gonna start wrapping it up, Casey. I know we appreciate your fiance giving an hour of your time, a little bit more. We really appreciate it. In closing, usually at the beginning of our segment, we do a thing, an episode or just a quick little segment called Win of the Week, where we highlight something positive that happened for us, whether it's a quote, anything. So I'm gonna just quickly start off with this one because I just feel it is so poetic. I saw it today. I pulled it out. I'm like, this is just really represents what we're talking about today. And just really, you accepting to be on the podcast, we really appreciate it. But this is my win, and I'm going to read it out here, and it relates to all of us. It says, we're all trying to figure it out. All we can do is support each other on the journey inward with radical acceptance and appreciation.
Oh, wow. I like that a lot.
That's mine. I love that.
Yeah,
Casey,
I
love that. You go for it. What do you got? Something positive, something that you want to highlight that happened for you this week?
This week. Oh God, you're going to do that to me? Oh gosh, I'm a blue collar worker. I'm miserable. I'm trying to focus on the blessings. Pass.
Okay.
Why don't you think about it?
No,
you're being honest.
Here's my win.
Be that you got to meet Andy Dick, man. That's a win of a lifetime, man.
Everything is great. I am blessed, though. At the end of the day, I'm blessed and I'm grateful for everything. And you know what? Like, when I get up and people stop at the red light and wait for me to go through the green light, there's hope.
Yeah, it's true.
There's hope.
I love that.
Nobody's running the red light.
Here's my win. Here's my win. Everyone needs to check out this book. Okay. Oh my God. It's going to blow your mind. Holy moly, this man. It's like 500 pages. I'm only 200 in and I've already cried like 5 times. And I'm like,
really?
Oh, humans, man, we are not that nice. We need to do better. Yeah. We need to be better.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Andy Dicks out there. That's why.
There's a lot of those.
That book was based on Andy Dick.
You gotta watch out now.
Sometimes it's Andy. Sometimes Rose calls Andy.
The name gets me.
I always go Andy. I'm like, Andy, don't be a dick all the time.
Oh, dude, he's a dick.
And Casey, I have this thing, like when I hear certain things or when I see something, like I just can't get it out of my head and just the name. But I'm also one of those people that I don't know why I get a kick out of watching those bicycle prank videos when people fall off their bicycles.
Oh, yeah.
I can watch those for hours and hours, and I'm the only one laughing. It's not. It's just funny. No, like if you're going to go steal a bike from a park and nobody's around, you should know that it's a setup and that the tires or the brakes are going to come off.
She actually makes us do that on a Saturday night with her. Like, what do you want to do Saturday night? She says, let's go watch bike pranks. I'm like, no, stop with this. That's what we say. Andy, I call Andy, don't be a dick.
Wasn't this sort of Andy Dickens or Angie Dickens?
Andy Dickens. That's different.
Yeah, that's what my dad named me after, a policewoman, Angie Dickinson.
Yep.
Yeah. Very close to Andy Dick. Andy Dick.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, my dad named me. Yeah, and Rose was named after Rosalind from Shakespeare, and Alvin.
Look at Angie Dickens. She's like a white police officer.
Woman. Yeah, she used to be on a show. Yeah. And Alvin was named after Alvin and the Chipmunks because our parents just love that show. And
I love that show.
Yeah.
Alvin!
And Theodore Dhillon, like I said to Dad, like Theodore is such a cool name. He's like, I don't know, Theodore Dhillon, TD, like how that would have sound.
I'm glad I went with Alvin. He was a cooler chipmunk anyways.
I love hearing about your dad. That's awesome. Like it kind of just reminds me of like some of the people that like helped raise me, and I mean they truly wanted us to be great, right. Yeah. You know, whether we became, I think we're all great regardless. You know what I mean?
We're all great too.
And I love the fact that I did what I did and failed when I failed, because without those failures, I wouldn't be here today with a beautiful son and a beautiful fiance, and I wouldn't be where I'm at. Even though I'm still working a blue collar job, it's okay. I'm blessed. I'm breathing. I have a roof over my head. We were able to buy a house. Okay. We were able to buy a house in today's economy together, and we have each other, and I'm able to create those memories that I truly hoped that I would experience, or if I didn't, I experienced them already. You know, it's like, I had that opportunity to be that guy. And I mean, you can't really ask for much more. You know what I mean? Like, I'm here right now on the podcast, having a great time with you guys.
Right.
Let me come back as a co-host. Come on, let's go.
Absolutely. You're our honorary co-host.
I know
Yeah.
Andy Dick
Here's your
personally.
win. Here's
He's
your win,
coming
my friend.
back. Andy Dick's making a comeback.
Al, you have to do your win, and then we'll have to get him back on again. Al, what's your win?
I went with Andy Dick. That's what my win is. That was everybody's win for this episode.
Right when you started the name, I was like, did I hear? I was like, are my pods on correctly? Like, did I hear Andy Dick? I was like, I want to confirm before I start laughing.
Let's see. I'm going to pull up a picture of him just so we can put this on the camera.
Casey Coles. The name is.
You brought
You
it.
have the name of a star.
You brought it.
It ain't over till it's over. You're still young. You're 36 years old. Listen, I started this. I'm 47. Where Al's in his late 30s, 40s. There's hope for all of us.
All of us.
Wow.
Hey, as long as we're not out there hurting people.
Quit playing.
I'm proud. We, you know what, women, we hide too much around
Yeah, we
our
should.
age. We hide too much about what society, and that, like you said, you spoke a little bit about the programming, right? And I think we cracked the code on the programming. I figured it out. I'm like, because for us women, society, we're only good for so long when you're a mother and you bear children and you have all this. But for someone like myself who didn't have the opportunity to be a mom, and whatever my journey was through life, I'm still here and I have a lot more to offer. And we are pigeonholed in boxes, into categories. And when you're approaching 50, it's like, oh, the menopause ladies, the cat ladies, they put us into a corner. And I'm like, own your age, own your shit, own what happened to you in life, and just be that support for the next generation to be better than our generation. So
yeah. And we call Andy online support sister.
That's right. You tell him, Andy. You tell him.
So we're changing 47.
That's what you tell him, Andy.
We're changing 47, right? We're changing what our parents, when back in the days when you were 50, you look like the girls from the Golden Girls, right?
No, really?
It's different now.
Dude, the 80s was crazy.
Yeah.
Totally
It was crazy. I mean,
yeah.
like what was the guy? The guy was in Beverly Hills Cop. The one dude with no hair. Like he was
Eddie
like
Murphy,
35. No, not Eddie Murphy. The white dude though. The white, he had like no hair. He always was like had a problem with Eddie Murphy. He was 35.
Whoa.
Yeah. Back then they looked so old, right?
Yeah, he looked at least 80. Yeah. So
no, age is just a number. It's how you feel, right? Yeah. And I think that's what it is. You got to desensitize yourself from the programming of society. Once you start to create your own programming, that's how you're going to thrive. If you care what other people say, about your routine, how you live your life, how you conduct yourself, it's game over. Then you just got to do live your life with integrity. This is a big thing that I say all the time, is there's a lack of leadership in the world. And that's why having these types of conversations, all of us, we raise the vibration, and we're going to help to make the next generation smarter than us, because we got caught up in that programming. This next generation, I think they're smarter. I think they're figuring things out.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, I do. I really do agree. Yeah. You're the pros. You know what you're doing. I actually can't thank you enough for even inviting me on the show. This was great. I had a really great time. It just reminded me of like everything I went through when I was younger, trying to just, be that guy, the front man, like Rose said, the showman.
The greatest showman.
It's always kind of been one of my things. And yeah, I'm just, I had trouble in school. I was a class clown. You know what I mean? I knew what we were learning about, but I was like, yeah, that's cool. All right. So what can I make fun of this, And this was fun. This was really fun. Thank you so much. I am so appreciative of it. And my fiance, she's grateful too. She was all for it. And so I told everybody
thank
about
her.
this.
Thank her too. We're grateful. Thank her too. Yeah.
She's given us an hour and a half of your time.
Yeah,
and,
appreciate it.
And listen, raising a child, it's in this day and age, it's not easy. You need support and help.
I don't want to go back. No.
To all the young dads out there. To all the young dads. You give hope to all the young dads out there.
All right.
You make me feel good about the decisions I made about not having a child.
Oh, everybody, this is the longest podcast conversation we've had. I love it. So entertaining.
Thank you for the laughter. Yeah,
Thank you.
That was awesome. Oh, so
And you know,
good.
this is how it's supposed to be. We just share our truth with each other, no judgment, right?
No judgment. Thank you. I was a good laugh. I needed it. I really did. So thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for the free therapy.
Yes.
No, thank you.
Free therapy. Okay, everyone. That was part 2 of our conversation. Hilarious conversation with Casey Cole telling us everything about Hollywood. And I'm just going to say this. The name Andy Dick, like just that name is stuck with me. It's going to resonate with me because we got a running joke in the family. They call me Andy or Angle in our family chats. And right now, that name, it has got some impact and meaning to me personally. So thank you, Casey Coles, for bringing that up. But check out Casey Coles on IG, everybody. He is also on TikTok. It's called Casey the Kids Cole. Is that correct, Casey? We'll make sure we drop your information. And everybody check him out. Let's give him support. Let's get this guy back on the screen, whichever way, whether he's doing silent films like Mr. Bean or acting silently or in Bollywood. But let's get this man. He's got a young family. He's got a child, and we want to help him out and we want to support him because that's the business that we're in. So everybody check out Casey Coles on social media. And if you like what you saw, comment below. We'll get him back again in due course. Thanks so much, friends. The Tribe Called Dhillon podcast signing off. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Casey.